Capoeira has such rich history. Can you take me through where it comes from?
So Capoeira started in Brazil, started by slaves. Obviously they were taken from Africa, so they were not allowed to practice any form of martial art, no religion, no form of identity whatsoever. So obviously as slaves, the only thing that they had their freedom on Sundays to get together. So they decided to form a martial art, but obviously because of the masters, it couldn't be displayed as martial art, so they had to conceal it with dance. So that's why with Capoeira, there's no Capoeira without music. So Capoeira is all driven by music. So obviously it was abolished until late abolishment of slavery in the late 1800s, and then it's now an official international or heritage sport in Brazil, so it's performed all over the world. So it is, if I have to describe it, it's an Afro-Brazilian art form, which it combines elements of acrobatics, a little bit of breakdance, just all the different movements that we do as human beings. They're all been put together to form an art form.
So what sparked your interest in Capoeira?
I've always been a martial art, kind of driven. I grew up in this township. I joined the karate at the age of 8, which is at the main hall. As growing older, and I got exposed to Capoeira. And I was working at Peter Stuyvesant. It was one of the seasonal events in Belito. So they had this Capoeira displays. Like it was 12-day activation of 200 people every day, different activations and different activities. And then Capoeira was there. I saw the guys doing the demonstration. I fell in love with the whole kicks and, the acrobatic aspect of it. But there was also a spiritual element, that came with it, that the whole singing. So that's also attracted me a bit. It spoke to me. So like straight after the whole seasonal event, so I went and joined Capoeira. That was like 2004, and I've never looked back.
So you spoke about the spiritual aspect of Capoeira. Is there a lifestyle change that you had to go through to be able to adopt this lifestyle?
Well, I think there's no prescription, that I suppose with any other discipline that we all enter to. So same as yogas, you people who are yogis but they're not pure. But with Capoeira, it's obviously the better spiritually attached you are, the better you connect also with the art form itself, because there's a lot of heritage that comes to it. It's an ancestral art form or a lifestyle, if I can put it that way. So it's not just the martial art aspect of it, but there's a lot of spiritual attachment into it. So I personally decided to go on a clean journey. So like for the past 10 years, I actually completed 10 years now of not drinking.
Wow.
So I felt that I needed to connect with myself more. On much more cleaner space, that I needed to create for myself. So I personally, think that it worked for me better that way. So like every single decision, because Capoeira, you have to be very present in everything that you do. You have to be present, and I think, like for me, to getting rid of all the intoxication, it allowed me to be present.
So today we are in Chesterville. Yes. There's a reason we are here. You started an incredible initiative with the kids. Take me through how it started, when it started, and why.
Well, so as I mentioned earlier, like I've always been a fit and active person. So with the whole pandemic lockdown, that the whole world has to go on a standstill, I thought I was losing my mind. So like I moved back home. It's almost like I was sensing this, this dark cloud that's coming on the horizon. And then when I came back, I also realized a lot of the social ills that I've always known existed, but with the busy lifestyle, busy chasing our careers, perfecting our own selves, and completely ignoring the communities, things that I had shut my eyes to. All of a sudden, I could see them, and kids like running around and not having any direction, and not going to school. So I needed to get them together and give them a little bit of a discipline. So that's where it started. Then we might as well just give them a little bit of skill, and it also strengthens their mental state. That's how it all started. So almost 12 months later.
So how do you think this initiative, Capoeira, is helping the kids during this process?
First of all, don't think any of these kids knew what was Capoeira. So for them, it was something new and something exciting. And I think what also has happened, it's also cemented the whole sense of brotherhood as kids, growing up. So it also creates that sense of belonging, with the purpose, if I can put it that way.
So how do you need help?
as I mentioned, so we've been training for 12 months, you know, as part of the Capoeira protocol as an art form, that, you know, that we have associations that, you know, we're lineage that we follow. So there's proper attire also, like how I'm dressed. That's how the kids also supposed to be dressed, also coming to class, and also to any public displays or any demonstration. So I am in talks also with the council here to try and maybe to see if they can sponsor a venue just for the 2 days a week that we train. Because training here at sport grounds, it's also weather permitting. So if it rains, that means that we can't train. When you're trying to instill a sense of discipline in kids, they need that structure. Getting a venue sponsored, that'll be a great, you know, help. So what I've done also is I've asked the kids to get involved in the whole design of the uniform. So one of the boys, you know, came up with the design that's going to go into their logo. So it's pretty much like white pants, a white t-shirt with the logo that's pretty much localized. I'm part of the group. It's called Mthembu Capoeira. It's a Durban-based capoeira with the senior members. I have the mentor, I have the maestro that I look up to, that I follow. His name is Patrick Mthembu. Him and his wife started the Mthembu Capoeira. Uniforms to start with, and the venue.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. You are doing an incredible job here with the kids. I had an opportunity to look at some of them. They defy gravity, quite frankly.
I know.
Amazing.
Fearless. I think that's also what attracted me to them. They actually remind me so much of myself when I was little. Like, I was fearless. So I see a lot of myself in these kids. So I need to harness that energy.
Great.